Good evening, everybody. Wow, another exciting night of fights. PFL, the lightweights and the welterweights really showed up tonight and put on a great show. That's what I said, featherweights and lightweights. Somebody was whispering in my ear, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, the guys fought great, and there were 6 finishes, great fights. From last week, we had two number one seeds that didn't make the finals. This week, obviously, the guys was like, hey, we're number one seeds for a reason, so they came out and put it on the line tonight and made it to the finals. So great to see. Pineda, we didn't get to see much of him at all in the regular season, but tonight in the playoffs, you truly looked amazing tonight, and so glad to have you here. Nathan, there's a reason why that guy's champion last year. He's very good at what he does. He's methodical at what he does, and I think one of the biggest attributes in his game is that he's very patient. And so, could you keep that down, please? And so it was great. It was a great night of fights. Like I said, some finishes. Obviously, Alex Kilpin and Andre put on a good fight, and I didn't expect the finish, which came out of nowhere. And again, another good finish there. There was a lot of chokes tonight. So. It's funny, Greg was was asking me for some pillows so we can put it in there, because there's a lot of guys that, that went to sleep. So that being said, listen, it was a great night of fights. The PFL continues to grow and continues to show the world that there's a reason why we're here. And again, thanks to all our fighters, our lightweights and welterweights, because without them, we don't have a show. So thank you, everybody. And any questions?
Ray, how do you feel about the officiating tonight? I know there was a couple fights in there that they were on the ground for a while, that the ref probably should have stood up, and then there was a late stoppage that should have been stopped a little bit sooner. So how do you feel about that tonight?
Yeah, you know what? This is the fight game. You're never going to be satisfied. You know what I mean? In terms of the early stoppage, I guess you're talking about the Pineda fight where he hurt Mavli, put him down. Mavli was able to kind of scramble a little bit, grabbed his leg. But, either way, it could have gone, he could have gotten up, but I think Pineda was so, on his game that he could have easily turned around and threw 2 more punches and the fight would have been over. And then that means the fighter was going to get hurt even more so. So, all in all, I thought it was the right decision. In terms of, allowing the fight to go long, that's not my job. That's obviously the referees. Can they do a job, can they get it better? Yeah, absolutely. But it is MMA, and, you got to be able to wrestle, grapple, kickbox, box. You got to do it all. You know what I mean? And, Pineda and Nathan showed that tonight. Lance Palmer, on the other hand, I was actually impressed, because I think that's the first time I've ever seen Lance throw kicks, and not just one. He threw a few kicks, and was able to put punches together. And so him making a move to New Jersey and have camp there, as fighters, that's exactly what you got to do. Sometimes you got to make those changes, and so good for him. I thought he was the best that I've seen him since I've had him in World Series of Fighting, coming into the season last year for PFL, and so, yeah, credit to him and his team.
Right. Obviously, tonight was a lot of upsets, especially with Pineda and Rosbanov. I hope I said his last name. Both number 7 seeds made it to the championship. How do you feel about that?
I think it's great, because it just goes. It shows the growth of the PFL, and it shows that, we have some real fighters that, some real talent that can compete with some of the best. And Pineda showed that tonight, and so did Loic. And, Loic made it to the finals. I believe, you know, he's been representing Tajikistan, I think, but he lives in Germany. And so it'd be good to see him come out next time in the German flag, but that's entirely up to him and his team, although that I've been told that that's what they're going to do next. That being said, yeah, I thought the guys fought well. And listen, the great thing about the PFL is that, number one, you got to see two guys fighting. I mean, guys fighting twice in one night. We've never, you know, it's been a long, long time, over 20 years since we've seen that in MMA. And so to see that tonight, and back then there was no rules. Tonight we got, you know, everybody fought to the rules, and everybody came out and they fought tremendously well. I was super proud of all the guys. Again, you know, I see Pineda here and Nathan. You know, these guys have shown the world that they're here to stay and that they belong in the PFL.
Ray back here. So we're now 2/3 of the way through the 2019 playoffs. How would you grade Las Vegas as the host city so far?
Listen, we've had some, the last week's show and this week's show, I thought we had a great turnout. And again, you know, this is just the beginnings. And Vegas is great for us in terms of the playoffs. And it's just a matter of time where I think cities are going to be asking for us to have the playoffs there. You know what I mean? And I think PFL brings a great show to the city.
Anything else?
So the flip side of Loic and Pineda coming out of nowhere is you got two dominant champions in Schultz and Lance Palmer. Could you talk about that? Is it easier for you as a promoter to have these kind of dominant champions?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's always good to have dominant champions, but also it's even better with dominant challengers. You know what I mean? Tonight I thought Loic and Pineda really, you know, not only proved themselves to belong here, but also to go to the championships. And again, you know, that's a different strategy to what the strategy was tonight. They had to fight 2 fights. Where the championship, they got to fight 5-round fights, 1 fight. And so, you know, I think that's a different game plan altogether. But all in all, in terms of talent, I was impressed and I was proud to have the guys on the team. Thank you, everybody.